Pentagon is marking the end of the 20-year war in Afghanistan, but for those who spent time there, concerns remain for those who are left behind. Joining me now live via Zoom, former U.S. Army journalist William Henry. William, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Let's talk about the last American military member left in Kabul yesterday. What are your concerns this morning about 4 Americans and allies left behind?
I think that the Department of Defense is going to do their best to try to remove all of those folks from the country that need to be out. And, they have been providing so much effort in this whole series of events over these last few weeks. It's been tremendous. The U.S. Department of Defense has been working very hard with coalition forces to get these people out of the country as soon as they can and evacuate as many of these folks from the country, these refugees and these people who have helped the United States in their mission in Afghanistan as well.
I've watched reports, and this is as of yesterday before the deadline, where some Americans refused to leave. They did not want to leave and stayed behind. Why would that be the case, you think?
Yeah, it could be for a number of reasons. Anyone can speculate why someone would want to stay in a war-stricken country, but a lot of people have invested their time in their life, and they've put their blood, sweat, and tears into what they've done, and they really believe in that mission. So I think a lot of folks are really determined to continue to try to make a difference as much as they can, but they're taking that sacrifice on themselves at this point. And they have a difficult road ahead of them to be able to exit the country safely when so they choose.
Thoughts on U.S. troops being pulled from the country?
I love the idea of our troops coming home. Did we do it in a great, orderly fashion? I'm not so sure about that. Could we have done better? We can always do better. And I think we're going to learn a lot of lessons from this. The U.S. military is going to gather as much information as they can throughout these missions to be able to put forth a better mission in the future had they ever have to do this ever again.
You have a very unique perspective as a journalist, telling the stories of soldiers and Afghans during your time. Describe for us this morning, during your time there, what you witnessed.
I worked with coalition forces. We worked directly with the Afghan National Police and the Afghan National Armies. It was a lot of training. It was a lot of preparing these folks to defend themselves and organizing them, their military and their police, to be able to defend these areas and to take care of these areas around villages all around the country. In the RC East District, where I was located at, I got a unique perspective to be out in the villages and see how these folks were living, and to see everything up close with what was going on. Our troops were working directly with the Afghan National Police and the Afghan National Army, basically training them on weapons training and conduct and other things of organization throughout their military and police.
We have 30 seconds to go, and I wanted to ask this question because it's one that a lot of people, when they hear this, they're like, how can that be? But all of the equipment that has been left behind in the hands of the Taliban now, from the weapons to the helicopters, why was so much of that left behind?
I think with the U.S. military and the Department of Defense exiting so quickly, they had to sacrifice some of that equipment for brevity. Moving forward, I believe the focus isn't necessarily on the material items that we left behind, but it's really the human capital and those who served and helped the U.S. in that mission. So I think a lot of what our focus needs to be on now is the human capital, those troops who served overseas and those people who helped that mission overseas, to get them into a safe place and to get them forward moving with their lives.
William Henry, thank you so much for joining us from Plainfield this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.